Hola mi gente, Eric with Guapo Homes here. I hope you are doing well on this beautiful day. I wanted to do a quick video about my videos. You may be wondering, I don't know if you followed me for a while, but my videos originally were just about real estate. I love real estate. I'm a realtor here in Oklahoma City, help people buy and sell homes. And I'm bilingual, so about half of my clients are Spanish speakers. Is usually how it turns out. And I love helping people get into or sell their home and accomplish their life goals and get to where they need to be. And recently my videos have been taking a little bit of a different turn. I really enjoy making videos. One of the most recent ones that I did was about what I use to make my videos, about lighting, about cameras, about tripods and stuff like that, to help the person who may want to launch some video marketing in their business. Another recent video that I did was with my friend Calvin, who loves finances. He's not a financial planner or anything, but he has a degree in finance, and he loves finances, and he's learned a lot of things over the past few years, and he's been applying them in his life. And his thing that he loves to do is just help people figure things out and work out their finances. And so I interviewed him, and we talked about how to become a millionaire, how the average person can become a millionaire. The average person in the United States pays about $500 a month on car payments. And the funny thing is that number lines up directly with what you need to invest every month for 30 years in order to have a little bit over $1 million in an account. Very interesting. So instead of driving brand new cars for 30 years, I could put away that $500 and then be a millionaire. It's really quite simple if you break it down and look at the math. Well, the reason I've been doing these videos, I was thinking about it. I love helping people. I love helping people look at their lives, look at their financial goals, and look at their motivation, look at their failures. That's another video I did, failure. Look at where they're at in their life, and all right, let's sit down, let's make a plan. What can we do to continue? What can we do to get through this struggle? What can we do to live a better future? And that is where my heart is I love helping people. So it's not even just how can I buy a house? It's not even just how can I sell a house and buy a bigger one? It's looking at the whole picture. Well, is right now the right time to buy a house or sell a house? Would it be better to buy and sell, or buy, rent out, and then go invest in another property, buy, live there for a while, and then rent it out, and stack and develop a portfolio of real estate over years? I really love sitting down and helping people think through these scenarios. My original motivation for becoming a real estate agent, if you haven't heard my story, I mean, it's in my blood, it's in my family. There's more real estate agents in my family than not. By starting with my grandma, she'd been a realtor, and she just retired after being a realtor for I don't know how many years here in Oklahoma City and helping. But my story in real estate comes in when I decided I'm gonna be rebellious and buy my first house with somebody who is not in my family, who's not a realtor in my family, and I'm gonna do it on my own. And I ended up doing that. And I picked somebody just because I knew they were a real estate agent. And you know what? It turned out to be a big mistake. It didn't turn out well. I was rushed in the process, didn't really understand what was going on. I wasn't taught anything, I wasn't explained anything, and it was really a confusing and frustrating experience for me, especially in the end when I learned things about the house that were not quite as they seemed. And so I ended up, after about 4 years of frustratingly fixing one thing after another, but you do have to fix things in a house if you own it. But this was just so much. This was having to redo all of the plumbing, having to redo all of the HVAC, all of the windows were bad, all of the floors had to be redone, all of the wall, I even had to move walls, and it was just kind of crazy. At the end, we ended up making $5,000 after 4 years worth of work. Looking back at that experience, I thought, you know what? I really believe in the golden rule. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I'm a Christian, and treat others as you want to be treated is a big thing. And so I think back to my first home buying experience, and I'm like, okay, you know, that person didn't do that on purpose, and I've forgiven, I've forgiven them. I'm not mad. They're doing their job, but what could I do for other people? What could I have done for myself? You know, that Eric who was a 20-something-year-old, I don't know how old I was, 20-something-year-old, buying their first house, not knowing anything about lending, about finances, about the big picture, about how long it takes to remodel, about what will that house be worth if you remodel it. Because sometimes you can paint the thing in gold and it still isn't worth very much. How can I sit down and look at the entire picture with somebody and help walk them through and make the best decision for them and their family? And that's my motivation. I want to be a teacher. I want to be a consultant. And that's my goal in every interaction that I have with people. Some people, it may turn them off. They may walk away. They may not like it. I do use the phrase cool beans quite often in regular conversation. And if you don't want a realtor that says cool beans, maybe you should go look elsewhere. I have 8 family members that can help you. And they'll take care of you. They'll do a great job. But anyway, my goal is to help people make really well-informed decisions, to make investments, to understand what's going on, to set goals, to measure those goals, to start off in point A. Maybe you don't have anything and get to the finish line, because we all know that's how races are done, point A to the finish line. But understand all the steps in between. And I've had clients, it's so funny, earlier, about 2 months ago, I closed with somebody who I met her 2.5 years ago, and started working with her. After months of going back and forth with lenders, I think she ended up going through 2 or 3 lenders just because it took so long. Like, some lenders changed jobs, like they're not lenders anymore. And but finally, after all of this stuff, all these issues, bumps in the road, we got her into a brand new, beautiful brand new build house. Right before that big, huge ice storm or snowstorm hit, and we had sub-freezing temperatures. Sometimes it takes time, and it takes a lot of effort. I would be so daring as to say that anyone could buy a house. Anyone can invest. It takes some hustle. Now, it just depends on, are you willing to do what needs to be done? Are you willing to make some sacrifices? Are you willing to, instead of just working 40 hours a week, and I say just, are you willing to start up a side job? Are you willing to start up a business on the side to make the extra income you need to pay off the debt that you've had from the past and not go back to getting in more debt? Are you willing to drive a car that may be barely holding together? Just so that you can sacrifice now so that in the future you can get to where you want to be. And so all of that, everything I just said, sums up who I am, what I want to do, what my goals are, and what I'm working towards, and what I'm trying to help my friends and family and clients accomplish. And so if you have questions, if you're struggling even with goals, Eric, how do I look at my life, figure out where I'm at, and get to the point where I can buy a house, or get to the point where I can start investing, or get to the point where I can live a balanced life, or even in recovery. So you may not know, I've spent the past 12 years in a program called Celebrate Recovery. It's a 12-step recovery program where we learn how to make healthy choices. We learn how to make amends with people who maybe we've burned some bridges with. Because sometimes something as simple as a failed relationship can hold us back from doing amazing things in this life. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting me in this journey. And I'd ask you that if you know somebody, or you yourself are asking some of these questions, if you are wanting to make a plan, if you're wanting to invest in the future, I may not know the answer, but use me as a resource. Let's talk about it. Let's come up with a plan. Let's come up with some guidelines. Let's come up with a roadmap or a vision board. That's another video I did, where you can get your goals down and know what you're working towards. Because if you don't, man, it is so easy to go to Amazon every other day and be like, hey, this thingamabob looks amazing. You end up spending or wasting money and time. And in the end of the day, as Calvin said, you could be in your 60s and be like, wait a minute, I've spent this entire life with a consumeristic mindset in my spending and even down to my spiritual life, my physical life, and I've got nothing. Oh my gosh. But if you're in that position, that's okay. It's never too late to start, you know. Instead of being 60 when you're a millionaire, you may be 90. But hey, let's figure out a plan and let's make it work so that you can get to that point. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you or a friend of yours, family, somebody you just met at work is thinking of buying or selling or is struggling financially or is kind of struggling to put a plan together, send them my way. I'd love to talk with them. I'd love to work up a plan. But I want you to know that it's not impossible. You're not alone. There is hope. There is a way to get to where you need and want to be so that you can have a better life, a better future for you and yours, and do incredible things along the way. And man, it's amazing if we can do these things and set ourselves up to be a 60-year-old millionaire with several properties under our belt. And you know what that sets us up to do? Not just to sit down and watch Dancing with the Stars, but it sets us to be in a position where we can live the way we want to and not have that extra stress of where is next month's rent going to come from, and be able to also be in a position to help others. Because as an older person, it is invaluable. It is amazing to be able to turn back and look at somebody 10 years younger, 20 years younger, 30 years younger than you, and be able to say, hey, I remember when I was in that position. You know what I did? You know what we did? Here are some tips. Let me help you. And you can use that wisdom. You can even use your resources, your finances, or your house, your extra houses, or your rental properties, or whatever. You can use that to help other people get to where you are today. So not only is it something you can receive and have something for you and yours, but you can also have plenty extra to give away, and you won't miss it. I've been in this position in my life where I had put myself in a bad place. I had built up debt and I was just struggling so bad. I couldn't help others. And there were some others that were around me that were in genuine need. There was even a point where I couldn't give, I could maybe give some beans and rice away, but that would be about it. And it wouldn't have been wonderful if I would have said, you know what? I have this vacant property that I haven't been able to get a renter in. You guys move into it, stay there for 2 months, and then let's talk about it. Wouldn't it be amazing to have that flexibility? So that's my goal. And as Dave Ramsey says, my goal is to live today like nobody else, so that in the future, I can live and give like nobody else. That's the goal. That's the goal. We sacrifice today for a better future tomorrow, so that we can live and give like nobody else. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a like or a share. I'm trying to get to 500 page likes and followers before summer hits. I think I've got like 120 more to go. So if you could please like and share this, and ask your, abuelita or your vecino or somebody, your neighbor's dog, ask them to like and share and like the page especially, not just this post. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Have a great day, and we will talk to you next time. Goodbye.